Tonight, Real Free News explores pressing issues spanning justice controversies, security concerns, international conflicts, border policies, and insightful video analyses.
You are watching Real Free News for July 15, 2025.
A recent controversy surrounds former President Donald Trump's involvement in suppressing information related to the Epstein files. Evidence indicates Trump directed efforts to withhold details in this high-profile case, shielding individuals named in the documents. Trump is referenced in the Epstein evidence, but is not a primary culprit. This cover-up is misguided, as selective disclosure could have enabled targeted prosecutions. Public frustration stems from expectations that Trump's leadership would ensure accountability for those implicated, a cornerstone of his electoral support. Disappointment persists due to unfulfilled promises from his prior term. The public demands transparency and justice, rejecting any strategic maneuvers. There is a strong call for the arrest, trial, and conviction of those named in the Epstein files, aligning with the mandate Trump was elected to fulfill.
1 year after the July 13, 2024, assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, unresolved questions persist. Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old shooter, wounded Trump's ear, killed one spectator, and injured 2 others before being neutralized by Secret Service. Crooks exhibited suspicious behavior, including using a rangefinder and carrying a rifle unchallenged, with explosives found in his car and home. He researched assassinations and bomb-making months prior, using encrypted accounts. Security lapses allowed rooftop access 150 yards from Trump, despite local counter-snipers spotting him 20 to 100 minutes earlier. Despite 6 months in office, Trump has not initiated a task force to investigate, and no significant new evidence or accountability measures have emerged, raising concerns about the lack of transparency and action.
On July 14, 2025, the U.S. facilitated a new arms deal for Ukraine, with NATO allies funding U.S.-made weapons, though U.S. contributions to NATO's budget indirectly support this effort. Since 2022, the U.S. has provided over $175 billion in aid, including weapons with limited accountability for their use. This funding loop through NATO underscores continued U.S. involvement despite minimal direct payment. The conflict, initiated by NATO's eastward expansion and Russia's response, has devolved into an unwinnable quagmire, straining neighboring Ukraine and Russia, historically linked by ethnic ties. The war, fueled by NATO and corrupt leadership in Ukraine, Europe as well as America, serves ego and profit, not justice. Public demand continues for accountability from these so-called leaders and an end to this unnecessary conflict.
The U.S. border is sealed under President Trump's second term, initiated January 2025, with enhanced border patrol and military presence, defense zones along the southern border, and the end of asylum programs like CBP-1. Migrant encounters have decreased by 95 to 99% from 2024, with some sectors reporting near-zero releases. Migrant protection protocols and strict entry restrictions support this shift. Deportations exceed 135,000 in the first 100 days, surpassing FY 2024 totals, with ICE targeting criminals and gangs like Tren de Aragua through Operation Tidal Wave. Focus has moved from border expulsions to interior raids on long-term undocumented residents. Despite logistical challenges and resistance from some countries, public support grows for these measures, viewing past administrations' open border policies as treasonous, demanding accountability for enabling the influx.
This week, Real Free News, a site for up-to-date current events and original content at realfreenews.com, highlights 2 compelling video series. Epstein case closure, justice system failures, and elite accountability delves into the 2025 resolution of the Jeffrey Epstein case, scrutinizing evidence, legal hurdles, and widespread public doubt. Critiques systemic flaws and political pressures, pushing for greater transparency and accountability in judicial proceedings. The second series, The Elusive Myth of an Evil Bible, a philosophical inquiry into subversive texts and human morality, investigates the absence of an evil Bible, exploring subversive texts to reveal themes of rebellion and hidden wisdom, while questioning the lack of a doctrine of pure malevolence. Both series release daily segments available on this platform or realfreenews.com alongside archives, supporting materials, and resource links.